So, with Dave Coombs today, one of Australia's top technologists, working for Tyro Payments. They've recently got their banking license. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What does that mean for the market? Do we actually need another bank, Dave?
That's a good question. Tyro is still predominantly a payments company. We've been a payments company since the day we started. Still our primary business is providing merchant acquiring services, predominantly to small to medium enterprises. By getting the banking license, we think it just allows small businesses to have even more choice. So we're able to provide banking products that are better suited to the needs of small businesses, that fit with their cash flow, that fit with their seasonality. So really it's about giving small businesses more choice. That's the big benefit we see.
Awesome. And I know a lot of work's gone into to get Tyro to where it is right now. And you've developed a lot of your own technology and ways of working to make sure you stay ahead. But I guess my question is, what kind of hurdles come with that? And also, what kind of good successes have you had from really building your own tech strategy?
Yeah, so right from the start, so Tyro was founded by technologists. Its technology is in the DNA of what we do. And Tyro really went about growing by building and owning all of its technology. So we built our own switch, we built our own software on the terminals, built our own accounting systems, our own clearing and settlement. When we got the banking license, we then went and built our own banking platform. And I think during the time, while you're in that startup phase, that's absolutely what you have to do. You don't want to be beholden to somebody else. And certainly at the time when Tyro started, a lot of the things that we would take just for granted now were just not available in the market. So I think Tyro made all of the right technology decisions at the time to make sure that they had all the technology that was allowed them to differentiate and grow. I mean, obviously it's now, post the banking license, it's time for us to sort of take stock of where we are. And there's lots of things which 15 years ago would certainly not have been considered a commodity, and now we would probably see it as non-differentiating. So we've spent a bit of time just looking at our technology landscape and really just reassessing which bits are genuinely differentiating for us as a business, and therefore we should absolutely own and be able to control, and which bits are we now more comfortable to either give to a platform, give to a SaaS provider, build on top of higher abstraction. So that's in terms of things like infrastructure, things like online onboarding, things like data warehousing. There's lots of areas where we're starting to look at different options that allows us to make sure that our people, which are still the most valuable asset, are working on the things which are genuinely the most important things that will help us differentiate as a business and provide the best service to our customers.
And I guess along the way, there's a big transformation happening and a modernization within not just your group, but we're seeing that across all businesses now in Australia. To tie that in today, you're at Cloud and Data Center Edge with Adapt, and your panel this morning was kind of talking about those issues in particular, modernization, transformation. What points got highlighted this morning, and what kind of knowledge was distilled on the audience?
So transformation and modernization would not usually be the words that you'd associate with a fintech, which is how Tyro we still see ourselves. But obviously if you've been in business 15 years and been building software all that time, you do end up with a lot of software that you have to support and maintain. I thought it was interesting, one of the talks this morning was from IBM talking about a particular path, in their case to cloud migration, and they talked about, I think it was migration, modernization, building new services and then management. Certainly in the way that we thought about our new technology stack, we've actually come at it the other way around. We thought about how do we best manage these environments in line with our regulatory regime. We've then looked at how do we build new services to take advantage of that. The next step would there be able to then look at some of our older applications and if there's anything we need to do around modernization to make them compatible or cloud native, and then there may be a migration at the end of that. We're actually quite lucky at Tyro that although we have a lot of software, a lot of it is the same. It's very homogeneous. We were very strict about using same technology in lots of places, it just manages the operational overhead, manages the cognitive load of what we have to know. But it also now means that if we are thinking about larger scale migration to the cloud, for instance, we think it will make that easier because we haven't got lots of COTS applications, we haven't got lots of ERP applications, we haven't got lots of legacy things that tie us to sort of old technology that it's going to be harder for us to move. So I think we made some fairly sound technology choices earlier on, which now happen to mean that our migration to the cloud should be easy.
So David, it sounds like you've got the right technology strategy in place. What do you think are the biggest challenges which are there right now in terms of executing on them?
I said this in the panel this morning, and I'm repeating now. By far the biggest challenge we have is hiring and retaining the best talent. So people are absolutely everything to our company. People are our biggest asset. It's also the thing we spend the most money on, which is absolutely how it should be. And making sure that we've got people in our teams, both in technology and in the wider business, that have both the aptitude and the attitude to be able to deliver on what we want to do and are open to learning, are open to being challenged, want to collaborate, want to learn new things. Because, technology doesn't move still, the business world we live in doesn't sit still. We need to be able to respond to those changes and learn and accept that what got us to where we are is not what's going to get us there. So the Sydney tech market is very competitive, as I'm sure you kind of know, so we're making sure that we want to give our people the right tools, the right training, the right opportunities, the right growth. We are also starting to look at partnerships, which is something we've not historically done, so maybe we've got some technology partners, we either bringing in expertise or capacity. We'll never outsource anything. We're not that kind of company. We absolutely own everything that we do, and we'll never, give that to somebody else. We want full accountability for everything that we deliver. But we are now, realizing that there are smart people in other organizations and other partnerships and other consultancies who can come and work with us and help us grow and help us learn and help us deliver. So, biggest challenge is always people.
Yep. And I was chatting to some of the tech leaders from ANZ and Atlassian 2 weeks ago, and they said a very similar thing. That tech talent is, Australia's lagging behind there. Do you think there's a role that government kind of need to do to get more involved to help, create these future tech leaders who are ultimately going to push Australian businesses forward so they can compete on that global stage?
Look, I think there's lots of areas there. I think the way that we think about STEM in schools, the way that we encourage people, particularly women, to stay in technology jobs. We've now got a Women at Tyro group. Part of it is to kind of make sure that we're creating the support structures in a company, particularly a technology company, to give people that support and to go on a career in technology. And then obviously the government can do lots of things to be able to support and invest and make sure that technology in Australia is nurtured.